Back to the child, Jesus, Yeshua. And I want to crib from one of my favorite websites just to set up the next hour. It's from WorldNet Daily. Not since Paul of the New Testament was struck blind by the risen Jesus on the road to Damascus has a Jewish man's vision of the Messiah created such a buzz. But the story of Yitzhak Kaduri, a legendary rabbi who died at age 108, is about to take the world by storm. A brand new book and video titled The Rabbi Who Found Messiah tells the story of the venerated rabbi who, on the Day of Atonement in 2005, had a vision that until now has received scant attention by the global media. And here to talk about his new book and new documentary, The Rabbi Who Found Messiah, is Carl Gallups. Carl is a longtime senior pastor of Hickory Hammock Baptist Church. I had the pleasure of meeting Carl at the Baptist Church down in Florida several years ago. He's the author of the bestseller Magic Man in the Sky. Additionally, he's a conference leader, evangelist, a Christian media icon. He's one of the founders of video teaching material to the world-famous ppsimmons YouTube ministry and biblical apologetics channel. He's a graduate of Florida State University and the New Orleans Baptist Theological Seminary, and as I say, his latest book, The Rabbi Who Found Messiah. Carl Gallups, how are you? Welcome.
Richard, it's so good to be with you. Yes, I remember when we were together in Florida, and I bet you're jealous of me right now because we have some pretty nice winter weather here as opposed to you guys in Toronto.
Well, I kind of like the snow for about 2 weeks, and then it starts to get old real fast.
Yeah, I lived in Michigan the first 10 years of my life, so I know exactly what you're talking about. Of course, as a kid, we loved the snow, every chance we could get it. I lived on a lake, so we got to do ice skating as well.
And you were in law enforcement as well before you came to the ministry. Is that correct?
Yes, I was. I spent right at 10, maybe a little more than 10. It's been so long ago, I can't remember, 10 or 11 years in Florida law enforcement, 7 or 8 of those years as deputy sheriff in 2 different sheriff's offices in Florida. So, yeah, sure did.
Let's talk about Rabbi Kaduri. Now, 108 years old. Oh, it's actually, that's sort of questionable. Some say he may have been somewhere between 110 and 118. Hard to believe. But give us some insights into who Rabbi Yitzhak Kaduri was. Yeah,
well, you're right. When he died in 2006, most claims have him set at 108, but it's anywhere between 106 to 116. I mean, the guy was an elderly gentleman, born in the late 1800s. We don't know exactly when, obviously. His life spans, the last of the 1800s, all of the 1900s, and right on into the 2000s. So amazing fella. When he died, Richard, over 300,000 people came to his funeral. They had to shut the city streets of Jerusalem down for almost 2 days. Ben Gurion International Airport was cram-packed with airplanes flying in from all over Europe. Snippets of his funeral were carried on Fox News. I mean, I actually remember seeing that. And
They say the hardest thing for a Jew to do is to embrace Jesus as his or her Messiah. That's understandable. For nearly 2,000 years, Jews have been persecuted, often by those claiming to be followers of Jesus. Since the first followers of Jesus were all Jews, the resentment has a long and tragic history. It stands to reason that if it is difficult for a Jew to embrace Jesus, it's even more difficult for a rabbi to do so. And that begs the question of how difficult it would be for the most revered rabbi in all of Israel to proclaim that the name of the Messiah is Yehoshua, the Hebrew version of Jesus. This is the story of Yitzhak Kaduri, the rabbi who found Messiah.